What's going on, guys? So today I'm going to show you everything you need to know about HTTP so that you can get started making full stack or backend applications. So HTTP stands for Hypertext Transfer Protocol. And what does it do? Well, it enables communication between clients and servers over the internet. It allows the transferring of data in various formats like videos, images, JSON, and of course HTML, which is the foundation of the web. So this is super useful because it's a protocol that defines how a server and a client can communicate and send data between each other. And that's basically like the fundamental way of how the web works. It's clients and servers. And it works by a way of requests and responses. So the client sends a request to the server sends a response to the client. So I'm going to show you the types of requests that clients can make. So the first type of request is a GET request, and you can think of it when you're thinking of CRUD, this would be like the read in CRUD. So basically the client is trying to get a certain resource or is trying to read something, and that's one of the most basic requests that you can do. You're just trying to read something and you just send a request and you want to get something back. That's it. A post is a little bit different. So this would be like, I want to create an account, or I want to create a post, or I want to create a comment. So I'm sending a request, but I'm trying to create data on the back end. And so the client would be sending a post request with that data inside the request. The other types of requests would be a put, which is to update the entirety of something. So let's say I want to replace something on the back end. It would be through a put request. Let's say I want to change my username on my account. So I just want to update a little bit of my account. That would be a patch request. And of course a delete, you know what it means. It means to delete something. And there's more, but these are the 5 main types of requests that you're going to deal with when creating software. And I mentioned real quickly sending data in a post request or maybe in a put request. How do we send that data to the backend? And that's what I'm going to show you now. So the first way, probably the most basic way, is through query parameters. So all this does is it lets you assign a value to a string, and then the web server would parse it and get that value. So here's an example I have on the screen. You go to youtube.com/watch, and there's a video, right? And there's always a v equals, and you get this ID. And you can ignore this t, but it's basically the same thing. So the v equals this, t equals that. The request hits youtube.com/watch, and it goes to the backend. Whatever backend is dealing with /watch handles it. Then the backend sees that there's a v variable in the URL, and it parses it, and it gets the data from that variable, and it does what it needs to do with it. In this case, YouTube gets that ID and responds with a different video according to the ID given. So you can stick pretty much anything in a query parameter, and it's not good to stick sensitive information like passwords. You should not be putting that in a query parameter because it stays in the browser's history and it's just not secure. So I'm going to show you the next way to send data, and that would be through the request body or the response body. So for example, I have one written here. A client sends a username in the body, and this will most likely be in JSON format. So that's how we can send data pretty easily. So the client sends the username in the body, the web server gets the body, it gets the username, and it responds with its own body in the response with any other data that the client can consume. So basically the client and the server can just stick things in the body of the response or request, and that's how they send stuff to each other easily. There's also another way to send data, and that would be through something called headers, and it serves its own purpose in of itself. It's not like a body, it's more like saying this equals this in the request. So this would be useful for content type. So basically when every request, when you have a body, you need to specify what type of content are you sending in the body. Is it an image? Is it a HTML? Is it JSON? And so that's how the server would know how to parse the body that was sent to them. That's very useful. There's also a set cookie from the server, so the server can send a response with a header that says set cookie, and then the browser will handle that for you. And it's very useful for many things. It's basically typically used for things that you would not want to put in a body on each request. It would just be put in a header. So I've talked a lot about requests, and I'm going to show you some stuff about responses. So most of the time a response would be in either JSON or HTML, but of course a response could be in anything like an image or whatever it can be. And I already explained this. It contains a header called content type, and that lets the browser parse it correctly. See, every response also contains a status code, and that status code lets us, the client, know how our how our request was handled. So did our request go through? Was everything fine, or was there some type of error? And so there's different codes specifying the different types of statuses that our request went through. So I'm going to show you those right now. I'm going to show you the fundamental status codes. So we have the 200 status codes, from anything from 200 to 299. Basically means that everything went good, and it could also have some extra information in there. So the most common one would be 200. 200 just means okay, everything went good, let's keep going. 206 means partial content. This is most used in streaming platforms like YouTube or TikTok. Basically, it means, okay, I'm sending you some response, but hey, there's more on the way, so I'm going to send you some more later. And that's basically what it means. There's some more other ones in there, but those are the most important ones that you should know. Then we got the 300. So it means I got your request, but I can't help you. I need to redirect you to someone that can. So let's say that you have a server that you wanted to redirect request to another website. That's what you can use 301 status code for. So this specifies that the website has been moved permanently, and so you can redirect requests to whatever URL really you want to go to. Then we got the 400. That means something went wrong, but it's not our fault. It's not the server's fault. It's something wrong with the client. So 400 means bad request. That means the headers were messed up. Something got messed up that it wasn't able to process. Unauthorized, that basically means like you typed the wrong password or the wrong username, or I can't log you in. You're not authorized for this. 403, forbidden. That basically means like, yeah, you're logged in, but only admins can go to this. Like, you're a user, you're not allowed here. It's forbidden for you to go here. 404, I'm pretty sure we all know that's not found. So this resource that you're trying to go to doesn't exist. Is 404, not found. Then we got 422, unable to process. That can be used for other things. Then we got the 500s. The 500s, if you ever see this, something went wrong. And you better hope that it's not your server that went wrong. Because if you see this on your server, that means you got to fix something, because something happened on the server and it's not good. You do not want to see these ever. So that's basically all the things that you need to know in order to get started making software and basically just engineering solutions with this knowledge. So I'm going to post a video in the upcoming days, and I'm going to put all this theory into practice, and we're going to create a Node.js server, a web server using JavaScript, and we're going to code all of this stuff, and you're going to see just how easy it is to use this knowledge in real life. There's a lot of libraries that do this stuff for you, so you really don't got to get your hands dirty, but it's still good to know these type of things, because you will run into it. If you are going down that road of being a developer, you will run into this stuff eventually. So yeah, hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you have a great day. Thanks for watching.